Today's story is about a man who used trust as his weapon, a killer who kidnapped young women and did things to them that are too disturbing to describe here. Things that can't even be said on YouTube. And in the end, he killed them. But this man didn't force his victims at first. First, he earned their trust, and then everything changed. This was a killer known to the world as Ted Bundy, a name that even today is considered a symbol of fear in criminal history. According to official records, he confessed to 30 murders, but many believe the real number could be over 100. Ted Bundy, whose real name was Theodore Robert Cowell, was born on November 24, 1946, in Burlington. His childhood was not easy. From the very beginning, his life was filled with confusion. The environment at home was tense. His relationship with his stepfather was never normal. He was extremely shy and often kept his distance from people. Because of this, he was sometimes treated differently. Slowly, all of this started building up inside him. And maybe this is where it all began. The beginning of a darkness no one truly understood. 1974. This was the year when everything started to change. Suddenly, young women began disappearing from different parts of the city. Missing persons cases started being reported, but law enforcement had no solid leads. Then slowly, a pattern began to emerge. Whoever the killer was, he was targeting young women, mostly college students. And one more thing, these women were not disappearing from isolated places. They were going about their normal routines, and then suddenly, they were gone. No loud screams, no clear signs of struggle, no witnesses, just their last known location, and after that, nothing. Each case looked different, but somehow they were telling the same story, a story where someone was hiding in the shadows, watching everything. And the most terrifying part, no one knew who he was. Let's talk about how Ted Bundy trapped his victims. His method was different. He didn't start with violence. He started with trust. Sometimes he pretended to be injured. Sometimes he used crutches. And then he asked for help. People naturally trusted him. They had no idea that the person they were helping would do something so disturbing it would shake them completely. The moment a victim got close to him, everything changed. Now, the decisions were his, the control was his, and the victim had none. Ted Bundy's crimes didn't happen in just one place. They spread across different states: Washington, Utah, Colorado, and later, Florida. Same pattern, but separate investigations. Because of this, law enforcement couldn't connect the cases. Authorities had clues, but no clear identity. Witnesses had descriptions, but no solid proof. And by the time the system started to understand, he had already moved on. 1977. A routine traffic stop. Everything seemed normal. A police officer pulled over a Volkswagen Beetle. The driver, calm, confident, not nervous at all. But when the officer looked inside the car, something felt off. There were items that didn't have a clear explanation. At that moment, it was just suspicion. But slowly, that suspicion turned into an investigation. And that investigation led directly to him. But the story doesn't end here. 1977. Just when everyone thought he had been caught, something shocking happened. Inside a courtroom, surrounded by security, he suddenly stood up and jumped out of a window. For a few seconds, no one understood what had just happened, and by then, he was gone. Months later, he was caught again, this time under tighter security. More guards, more control, but still, he didn't stop. One night, while everyone was asleep, he slowly created a small hole inside his jail cell, so small that no one noticed it at first. Then he lost weight and escaped through that narrow space. That night, he was free again. This wasn't just an escape, It was a direct challenge to the system. 1978, Florida. This was his most dangerous phase. By now, he had become careless. Faster decisions, more risks, less planning. And because of this, mistakes started happening. 1989, he was executed. But his story didn't end there, because this wasn't just one man's story. This was the story of those who never came back, the families who got answers but never found peace. And the most terrifying part, evil doesn't always look dangerous. Sometimes it looks completely normal. A friendly face, a calm voice, a person you would never suspect. If you found today's story interesting, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next story.